Hello, I'm Tegan and I'm a speech and language therapist at Evelina London Children and Young People's Speech and Language Therapy. Today I'm going to be talking about auditory memory and also sharing a tip of the week. This session is going to be directed towards children who are Key Stage 2, but there may be sessions for other age groups, so please keep checking our page and have a look to see if there are other videos already available. Today we're talking about auditory memory skills. Auditory memory is the ability to hear information, process it, store it in your mind and recall that information when you need it again. I'm going to be talking about a tip and activity for supporting auditory memory skills to follow verbal instructions. The activity is called barrier games. I'm going to be using coloured pens and pencil, but you could also try it with colouring pages, a whiteboard and pens, or Lego. If you want to do this in the session with me, this is what you need. A red pen, a blue pen, a green pen, and some paper. I'm going to use a visual timetable to show you and your children what we're going to be doing today. It's a really simple version using some paper and a pen or pencil. So let's get started. This is what we're going to be doing today. So we're starting with hello, then we're doing the tip of the week, then we're going to do our activity, which is the barrier game, and then we're going to do goodbye. So hello has finished, so we will cross that out. And now it's time for our tip of the week. So today's tip of the week is asking your child to repeat instructions back to you. Some children find auditory memory a little bit tricky, so it's important that we use strategies to support this. By asking your child to repeat what you have said back to you, you can check their understanding of the instruction and whether they have held it in their mind. So it also gives your child a chance to hear it and think about it again. If your child is not able to repeat your instruction back to you accurately, then you can try breaking the instruction down to make it a little bit easier and a little bit shorter. So for example, if you give an instruction such as get your coat and stand by the door, if they have trouble repeating this back to you, you could break it down into two small parts. So you could say get your coat, pause for them to repeat, and then say stand by the door and pause again. So this gives you an opportunity to see whether the instruction you have given matches your child's auditory memory skills. So by asking your child to repeat, it also gives your child a chance to check that they can remember the instruction and gives them the opportunity to ask for help. This tip is something that you can use at any time during the day when giving an instruction. So whether that's when you're getting ready for school, giving them an activity, or at bedtime. So our tip of the week has finished. Now it's time for our activity, which is our barrier game. So, have you got your coloured pens and paper ready? Let's give it a go. So, today's activity is called barrier games. Barrier games can be played with an individual or in a group. So the idea is that the adult has a drawing in front of them which the child or children cannot see. The adult gives one instruction at a time that the child or children have to follow, and at the end of the game the children compare their piece of paper to the adult's piece of paper and see how similar they are. So you can hide your piece of paper from the adult by creating a barrier or holding your paper at an angle that they can't see. So today I've used extra pieces of paper behind my piece of paper and I'm angling it so that you're not able to see it. You could also use something like a cereal box to create a physical barrier, or maybe building a Lego tower in between, anything which means that the child can't see your piece of paper or whatever it is you're using for the game. So let's give it a go. I will start by giving the first instruction. So, draw a big green square in the middle of the paper. Draw a big red triangle on top of the green square. Draw 4 small blue squares inside the green square. Draw a small blue rectangle at the bottom of the green square. Draw a green tree next to the green house. Draw 5 red apples on the green tree. Okay, let's see how similar they are. I'm going to show you what I've drawn and let's see what you've drawn. So, I've drawn a house. Have you drawn a house? Now remember, when playing barrier games, don't forget that you could also use our tip of the week. So you could get your child to repeat your instruction back to you. And you could also repeat your instructions. You don't have to only give it one at a time. If they ask you to repeat it, you can repeat it, and you can ask them to repeat it back to you. So this could help them to follow it, and also if you break your instructions down into smaller chunks, that will make it a little bit easier for them as well. You can play around with barrier games. So for example, you could get them to arrange Lego in the same way that you have. You could use colouring pages that you've printed and give them instructions to colour it in. You could also use a whiteboard and draw on a whiteboard as well. Just remember not to let them see your piece of paper. Give them the instructions one at a time and then check if they're the same at the end. So, barrier game has finished. Now it's time for goodbye. So I hope you enjoyed that and that you try the activity by playing barrier games at home. Try and have a go with a visual timetable to show your children roughly what you'll be doing over the course of the day. It doesn't have to be too specific and based on times, but it can just help to have a little bit of routine for your child. If you have any questions or queries, please have a look at the information on our website, as you might find that your question has been answered there, especially if you look in the advice and support section. So, our website address, which I will show you here, feel free to pause the video, is www.evelina.nhs.uk/community speech and language. So that's here. Please feel free to pause if you would like to write down the address. You can also find it on our Facebook page. If you can't find the answer to your question, you can email us and find someone who will get back to you. The email address is gst.tr.contactslt@nhs.net. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll be posting another video next week, and you can rewatch this video at any time.